Hello, my name is Abhishek Sahani, and I'm going to talk about how to run a sample IIR Java program. The agenda for this session would be to cover up what all the sample programs available with the installation. So when you install IIR, we ship sample programs which contains the basic APIs for different languages. If you're planning to use the C language, you can refer to the C sample programs. We do have sample programs for PL SQL, Java, Perl. So based on your requirement, you can just refer to the respective folder. But for this session, we'll just talk about the Java sample programs which are bundled with as part of the installation. Before running any program, you would need an SDF created which will have all your search rules, the system name, which will tell that, okay, what are the rules to be used before making any search and match call. So we will talk about the sample SDF, which is also bundled as part of the system, the installation, which can be used to run the sample program, so you don't have to write your own custom SDF before running any sample program. And the last topic would be to what all the basic APIs used in the program. So to connect to the IR server and perform any search match call, it has to go through a different set of APIs. The first would be to basically create a socket connection and then perform a search and then get the results. So we'll talk about the basic APIs available and to be used in the program. So here is the directory. If you go to the root installation directory of IR, there is a folder called as samples. Under that, you can go to that programs. In that, you will find different directories for each language. We have for C, Java, Oracle, PL, SQL, Perl. So now let's go to the Java folder. You'll find two sample programs given. The sample one program, it uses basic set of APIs. The second one, sample two, it uses extended APIs. So extended APIs means that if let's say that you're planning to use connection server for session pooling, so you can refer to the sample two program. But if you're planning to use that server and you're not bothered about maintaining session pools, you can refer to the sample one program. So if we look at the sample program, it has a set of APIs used, and we do use all these predefined packages. So how can you run this one using the Eclipse or command line? This can be done, compile and run through the command line. If you're looking for the syntax and what all the jar files to be included, you can look at the compile.bat. But if you're planning to use Eclipse to run this program, so here is a sample. I created a folder, project folder called IR. In that, I created a class. After that, I used the same code and copied, compiled it in Eclipse. Before running or compiling this program, you will need to include this jar file. This is a jar file which contains these two packages. So until you add this as an external path in the for running this application, it will basically give the compilation error. So before you run this one, this is one of the prerequisites. You have to include this jar file in the path of this program. How can you run these? So if you go to this one, go to the properties, and once you do this one, add the jar file. So this is how you can add it. After you are done with this one, this program requires two arguments. Now, two arguments, what are the two arguments required? One is the first one is the host name, and the second one is the host. By mean, it's the search server host name and the port number, and the second argument is your rule-based connect string. So if you look at the sample program given, there is a function called getArgs. So this is basically which is reading the argument passed. The first one is with -r, and the second one is with -h. With -h, you have to pass the search server host and port number. With -r, you have to pass the complete ODBC rule-based connect string. Now, how do you configure these arguments and how do you pass it? If you click here, run as, run configuration, you see this in arguments. I'm passing -h with the host name, with the port number, and with -r, I'm giving the complete rule-based connect string. Once you're done this one, you're all set to run this program. But before that, you should have a system created. Because when you are sending a search request, it needs to know that, okay, what is the system name? What is the search name created? That particular rule base. Now, where do you find the sample SDF? If you go back to the samples folder, there is a directory called system. In this, we bundle a sample SDF called as SSA01.hdf. Now, the system name is right here on the top. You can use this, and then you can look at the search rules, that is name search here, which defines all the purpose and the different search levels used, what all the fields used for this particular search definition. Once you create this system, you can run load IIT, and your program should be all ready to execute a search match call. Let's go back and look at, where do you pass the system name and search definition. So the search name is passed to this variable. So this is nothing but the search definition name which you passed the SDF. Once this is done, it is all set, and you can just execute your program here. If you see in the down, it returned the score of 80 with the basically this is the record returned, and this is the search record which is passed on the program. If you have any other questions, you can send us to supportvideos@informatica.com, or you can follow us through twitter.com/informaticasupport.com. Thank you.